Despite all the technological and economic progress in our world, there are still many secrets which have not been fully explained by science. This is the case in the following 10 cases, which are still a mystery to experts. Join us in this film across the world, mysterious technologies and secrets, and see for yourself. You like mysterious things and amazing discoveries? Give us a thumbs up and subscribe channel, joining our adventure. Mysterious inscription Sapporo. Our first mysterious case concerns the so-called inscriptions from Sapporo. Is an inscription from the 18th century, was carved into the Sapporo hole in Safford Surf, England. Between the letters D and M, there is a sequence of the following letters O, U, O, S, V, A, V, V. After more than 200 years, scientists and the code breakers were unable to find out what is going on in this sequence. This is why experts believe one of the best ciphers in history. The inscription from Sapporo became widely known thanks to the authors Michael Bydant, Richard Digovia, and Henry Lincoln, who mentioned it in their book, The Holy Blatt and the Holy Grail. Increased interest did not change the fact that to this day it is not clear what message is behind the string of letters. Will this mystery ever be solved? Who knows? Spark plug from a long-forgotten era. A particularly interesting discovery has been made by the explorer February 13, 1961, when it was digging geodes near the California city of Lunch and came across a geode containing an object which has been identified as a spark plug champion of years, 20th century. How is it possible? Spark plug in geode, which is almost 500,000 years old. This find would completely overturn upside-down story technological development of humanity. According to previous research, spark plugs were created only in the 19th century. Scientists therefore assume that the find from 1961 was not a geode. We are rather dealing with a rock deposit, which formed naturally over decades, which can be logically explained. The history of technological development does not have to be so written. Od a new pity. A portal to another dimension. Our next story takes us to Peru, more specifically, the Sacred Valley, which lies between the cities of Urubamba and Ollanta and Tambo. There is a mysterious place, called in the language of Quechua Naupa Huaca, while Naupa can be translated as ancient. Huaca means temple. The locals have great respect for this place and specify it is a gateway to a new dimension, which allows the inhabitants of the spirit world to enter to the world of people in the morning. According to the common belief, these creatures are called UPAs, are very dangerous, therefore they should be left alone. In this connection, locals reacted critically. Scientists and speleologists, who in the past decided to explore this place, the researchers discovered, among other things, a stone megalithic throne. Its purpose is still unclear to this day. The same applies to the origin of the place itself. Drills that are ahead of their time. Commonly known, the ancient Egyptians were full of surprises. However, the current case surprises even experienced historians. Almost perfect drilling in pink granite, which were discovered in many ancient places, and could not be done using the technology available at the time. Scientists initially assumed that the ancient Egyptians used tubular drills of copper or bronze and used quartz sand as abrasive material, but reproduction of this process has failed and raised more questions than she answered. How was it possible to drill such accurate holes a few thousand years ago? This is particularly impressive that according to historians the discovered holes can be traced back to Kemet, a people who lived about 12,000 years ago, and is described by experts as very advanced. Their most famous works are the Sphinx, Great Pyramids in Giza, and of course drilling. Kazakhstan. Geoglyphs amaze researchers. Kazakhstan is certainly one of the most interesting travel destinations in the former Eastern Bloc because of its exciting history and impressive nature is another reason. for which it is worth visiting Kazakhstan. There are impressive geoglyphs, which were discovered in the steppe Turkey, in the Kustana region, and at the beginning of the 20th century, after being unclear for a long time. Where do geoglyphs come from? The government of Kazakhstan began extensive research, July 2000, using Google Earth, came across more geoglyphs in the Turgay region, which, according to experts, are of natural origin. However impressive these formations may seem, there were no supernatural forces at work. This should not discourage tourists, visitors to Kazakhstan, to visit the Turgay steppe and see the mysterious geoglyphs, which are up to 680 meters long. Passion for modesty. Pythagorean cup. Pythagorean cup is an object which looks like an ordinary drinking vessel, but as it often happens, the devil is in the details. Drinking cup. It is equipped with a central column, in which a small tube led to an additional chamber. According to unconfirmed legends, the Pythagorean cup was designed over 2,000 years ago to teach people modesty. Project attributed to Pythagoras. It forces people to fill cup only to a certain level. If you follow these guidelines, you can drink from a cup without any obstacles. If the cup is filled above a certain level and then applied to the mouth, all the contents will pour through the tube at the bottom of the cup. This technique was supposed to punish people for greed. The legends do not reveal in which cup degree led to a semi-early change way of thinking. Exciting art of ancient Rome. Cup liturgy. In the ancient Romans, numerous political achievements have been attributed, technical and cultural. About this, that the Romans also had a passion for exciting art is witnessed by a cup of Lycromus. According to historians, it dates from the 4th century. Era 1. One of the special features of the cup is the fact that it was made of dichroic glass. That creates an exciting play of light. If the cup is illuminated from behind, glows in red. If you light it from the front, liquor beaker shines green. Color game was achieved thanks to a special cup production, which is still the mystery of the ancient Romans. Although scientists have discovered that the glass has been enriched with nanoparticles, gold and silver, the exact production process has gone down in history with the Roman Empire several centuries ago. Vimana flying palaces of Hindus. Hinduism is certainly one of the most interesting religions, with many rituals and different gods. The so-called Vimana, palaces or chariots of the gods, that soar in the skies. They are part of many Hindu stories. The Sanskrit word Vimana can be translated as measure or traverse. The exact origin of the legend surrounding Vimana remains unclear to this day and is also not clear from various historical writings of Hinduism. The Hindu scriptures state that Vimana Vasan, they represent the class of gods who served the hawks. These deities, in turn, are known for that they reside in heaven Tvaloka. From there they watch over the world and mankind. Incidentally, in the case described here, we are dealing with 1. Vimana, which was discovered in preserved Hindu scriptures. Part of a UFO from 250,000 years ago. In 1973, on the banks of the river Mers in Aiud, Romania, workers discovered a lump about 20 centimeters long, 10 meters below the surface, which is still the subject of speculation. Archaeologists who were commissioned to study aluminum came to the conclusion that it was a complex artificial metal, which was definitely not of natural origin. It was artificially produced. More detailed analysis revealed that the object was made of 12 different metals. It is at least 250,000 years old. An age that intrigued researchers, because people 250,000 years ago were unable to produce such complex material. Object has concave shapes, which suggest that it could be part of a more complex mechanism. UFO or other extraterrestrial object. Unfortunately, we will probably never know. Completely resistant to rust. The iron pillar in Delhi. At the end of our video, we go back to India, and more specifically to the Delhi metropolitan region. You will find here a structure with a height of 721 meters and diameter 41 centimeters. Built in the time of Chandra, Force 2, from 375 to 415 AD. Philas at Delhi gained international fame by primarily complex metal composition, which gave the sculpture impressive rust resistance. When chemists analyzed the composition of the column, they were amazed, because anti-corrosive agents were centuries ahead of the state of technology. A logical explanation could not be found. After decades of research, the author Heinrich von Däniken, who specializes in extraterrestrial subjects, came to the conclusion in the book Chariots of the Gods. Construction and composition of the daily column. It was only possible with extraterrestrial help, which the world of scientists doubts. As always, we look forward to your feedback in the comments. Which of these finds made the biggest impression on you? Or maybe you know some similar exciting stories. Let us know below.